Happy new month. It's the 1st of December. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dotty. If you're new here, thank you so much for coming on here, and if you're not, welcome back. So it's the 1st of December. December is literally my favourite month of the year. If you don't know why, it's because it's my birth month. I hope that you're well. I hope that this year has been alright for you, and even if it hasn't, this last month is not too late. And literally the song that came to my head just before I started recording this was Still Moving by William McDowell. So today's video is basically going to be some encouragement. I think this year has been very hard, very taxing mentally. It's been very hard on a lot of people's mental health, and I can only speak for myself and tell you that this year has been the hardest. It's been such a struggle mentally. I remember feeling like I couldn't see myself out of this pit, and I just want to encourage anyone that has been struggling mentally and people don't know. You've probably or possibly been hiding it, or you find it difficult to share. God is literally still moving, and He's still proving just how great He is, and I believe that He can definitely do that in the area of your mental health. I want all of us watching to enter the final month of 2022 with better coping mechanisms, strategies, and healing mentally. One thing I know is that life is not easy, and I don't think life will ever be easy. But I know that with the right strategies, the right armor, you can get through life very well. And I believe that's what God has called us to. Actually, a quick analogy. It was when I was on holiday. I took my little nephew and niece on a ride. And it was one of those rides that it goes really high and then it drops fast. So it was really scary for my nephew, and he made me hold his hand the whole time while we were on the ride, and he held on to my hand so tightly. One thing I noticed was that the ride was still going on. There was still it was still flying high, it was still dropping suddenly, there were still so many ups and downs, but the comfort that my nephew had was that even in the midst of the ups and downs of this ride, he was holding my hand. He held on to me so tightly, and he was like, "You said you'd hold my hand and you'd never let me go." That's literally what he said. He said, "You said you'd hold my hand. You promised that you'd hold my hand and you wouldn't let it go." And although he was scared, although he was upset, although he wanted to get off the ride, the mere fact that he was holding my hand enabled him to stay on the ride, see the ride through, and at the end of it he was laughing. And it was a very quick moment, but it was a beautiful moment where I realised that this is literally what life is like. That the presence of God and us being Christian and us following Christ doesn't mean that we are void of problems in this life, of difficulties, of struggles. But the fact that we are able to hold God's hand through it all is our solace, is our comfort. So the ride was still riding, it was still moving up and down, but the fact that he held my hand was enough for him to see that ride through, for him to continue, for him to feel confident that I'm not liking this ride is very scary, it's doing a lot, but the fact that I'm holding my auntie's hand tightly makes me feel safe, makes me feel connected, makes me feel protected. In that time, I'm sure my nephew knew that he wasn't alone. If anything happened, I was there to take care of him, to comfort him, to protect him. He didn't have to look for comfort anywhere else. My hand was enough. My hand was enough. And I feel like that's how it is with God. His hand is enough. His hand is enough. Holding on to God's hand in the midst of troubles, of heartache, of pain, of disappointment is absolutely more than enough. And so I know that one thing we're not promised in this world is a life void of problems, of struggles, of hardships, but one thing that we are guaranteed and promised is that God will be with us through it all. I mentioned about this promise box. It's a daily promise box. So what I wanted to speak about was some of the coping mechanisms that got me out of this mental rut, because guys, it was really deep. I wasn't speaking to my friends, I wouldn't pick up calls, I couldn't physically speak. And one of the things that I needed to do was to renew my mind. I think it's Philippians 4:8. I'm going to double check that's right. If I got it right, I'm going to be glad. It's me memorizing scripture. It's her memorizing scripture. It says, "And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honourable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise." And this is literally the scripture that my mum drills into my head. And one of the things that really helped me get through this was not only speaking to people, but finding ways firstly to release and speak to God. There's literally nothing that you need to hide from God. That was another thing I wanted to share. There is nothing, honestly, the best thing that you can do for yourself is be completely honest, open and transparent with God about how you're feeling. If you can't do it with anyone, I'm telling you, being open and vulnerable and transparent with God is unmatched. Unmatched. Yeah, you don't have to hide your feelings, your frustrations from God. Be honest. He wants to know. He wants to hear. And he literally is the only one that has the resources to help fully, because he controls the ones that can help you. God is the helper of the ones that are helping. Come on. God helps the helpers to help us. So yeah, one thing I had to do was remind myself of the promises of God. And I really want to encourage you guys to do this. 21 days in December, why not? Try that. Filling your mind with the promises of God daily. So this promise box, basically bring out cards and it has like promises of God, and it's really good for scripture memorization. And it's such a vague statement. Oh yeah, remind yourself of the promises of God, strengthen yourself with the promises of God. But what are they? This promise box literally has all of them. And this one here is Psalm 23:4. "Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." So I would literally pick up one every morning, one a day, or as many as I needed that day, and read it and just literally soak it and take it in. "He shall set me upon a rock." Psalm 27 verse 5. Oh, John 14:27. "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you." So yeah, I would definitely advise that. I'm sure you can get it from Amazon or eBay. It's definitely my brother's. I think he gave it to me, I can't remember. But yeah, I don't want to waffle. I wanted to make this a short video and just encourage you and let you guys know that, life is real. There are ups and downs. We see the highlights of life, the highlights of everybody's life. We rarely see the lowlights or low times. I want to let you know that it's real. People go through things. People go through things. You are not alone. You are absolutely not alone. It's real. But God's power is realer. There were two songs that came to my head yesterday when I tried to record this the first time. "The Potter's House." Yeah, my key messages would be to lay it all bare with God. There's no need to hide. There's no need to pretend that you're okay with Him. Let it all out. And I really pray that you would see God move and see a shift, see a change in your mental health. Amen.
Jesus is healing. Jesus is healing. Right here and right now. Oh man, if you need a healing, just reach out.